Princess, you must flee to the forest and never return. Your stepmother wants to harm you.
Freed by the hunter, the beautiful young woman runs through the forest. But what will be the fate of this poor princess? Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Production and adaptation by Kaoris World. Once upon a time, in a very distant kingdom, a queen sat before a fireplace, enchanted by the colors and their contrast. The white snow on the ground, the intense red of a rose the king had given her, and the black of the burnt candy tip.
I want a girl white as snow, with lips red as roses, and with hair black as the tip of this marshmallow.
And so the queen's wish came true. A beautiful princess was born, named Snow White. When Snow White grew up, her mother disappeared, and the king married again. The new queen was very beautiful, but also very vain.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, is there anyone more beautiful than me? Your Majesty is very beautiful, but Snow White is the fairest of them all.
The queen became very envious. Envy is a very dangerous feeling that can make people do terrible things. She called a hunter and ordered him to make Snow White disappear.
Princess, you must flee to the forest and never return. Your stepmother wants to harm you.
Snow White ran through the forest until she found a very small and tidy little house. Inside, there were 7 little beds, 7 plates, and everything was very clean.
What an organized house. I'll clean everything and I will prepare a surprise for whoever lives here.
Soon the 7 dwarves arrived, who lived in the mountain. Surprised by the tidy house, they met Snow White, who asked for shelter. In exchange, she promised to help with the home. And so she found a new beginning, learning to be independent and taking care of the 7 dwarfs' house with joy.
Snow White, remember, never open the door to strangers, nor accept gifts. They can hide dangers.
The evil queen then disguised herself as an old vendor. She went to the dwarf's house and offered Snow White a beautiful doll. The young princess was enchanted, but as soon as she held the doll, she fell into a deep sleep. Fortunately, the 7 dwarves arrived in time and managed to wake her by washing her face. They reminded Snow White to never trust strangers, even if they seemed kind. The queen returned with another appearance and colorful makeup, offering a shiny lipstick to Snow White. Hesitant, she ended up applying the lipstick and fainted again. The dwarves quickly saved her, and the oldest dwarf, serious and worried, reminded her that she needed to be strong and never accept things from people she didn't know.
The evil queen returned once again,
Disguised, and this time brought an irresistible sweet, a love strawberry, shiny and sugary. To deceive Snow White, she took a bite herself, showing that it seemed safe. Enchanted, the princess also wanted to try it. But the strawberry was enchanted. As soon as Snow White took the first bite, she fell into a deep sleep, even more dangerous than before. The dwarves were very sad. They made a beautiful crystal coffin for Snow White and placed her in a beautiful garden where all the forest animals came to visit her. One day, a kind prince passed by and saw Snow White.
What a beautiful young woman. She seems to be just sleeping.
As the prince approached affectionately, the piece of love strawberry fell from Snow White's mouth, and she woke up. When she opened her eyes, Snow White wondered where she was. The prince, with a serene voice, explained that she was safe and invited her to go with him to his castle. Snow White accepted with joy, but first asked to say goodbye to her dear dwarf friends. The king discovered that the stepmother was persecuting Snow White and expelled her from the castle. Soon after, there was a beautiful wedding party. Everyone was happy. The evil queen, full of envy, left the kingdom to learn to be a better person. And so Snow White and the prince lived happily ever after.
Hi, little friends. Today we learned that helping others makes us happy. We must be careful with strangers. Envy only brings sadness, and true friends always help us. Let's remember this every day. Bye-bye.